What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, going to be casting the second day of the second week of the Nexon Invitational Super Match. This game's going to be between Team Dignitas on the Radiant. MVP is going to be on the Dire. Last game, Team Dignitas held out against MVP's pushing strategy, although I really do like MVP's the strategy that they tried to go for in the last game. What happened to my frame rate? Literally nothing is happening in this game, so I don't know why I'm at 0 frames per second. But I'm sure it'll be fine, because there's actually nothing that is going on that needs frame rate. Except for... what's going on here? What's going on? Alright, maybe that was better? I don't know what happened there, but it doesn't matter because we're still in the drafting phase, so you guys didn't miss anything. But Team Dignitas, with Winter standing in, have endured MVP's pushing strategy before, and although it was a good effort from MVP, they came just a little bit short. In the end, Team Dignitas just had a little bit too many levels, a little bit too much going for them. And, well, hopefully things will change, so we could see a little bit of a change in the pacing of MVP and Underrated both getting kind of crushed by the Western teams. They're going to open up how Dignitas opened up in the last game with the Crystal Maiden pick. They banned out the Mirana, which was really problematic for them. Infinity's Mirana was pretty noteworthy in the MVP game. They also, Team Dignitas that is, picked the same hero for Infinity in their game versus Speed Gaming, and that was also a very pain-in-the-ass thing to deal with, so they're not going to have to deal with this game. Team Dignitas banning out the Pugna, same as last game. I believe that it was Pugna banned out in the first round. I don't know if it was first ban or whatever, but it was banned out in the first round, as well as the Naga Siren, so eliminating some of those really problematic heroes. Pugna more oriented towards the pushing, whereas the Naga Siren in that large team fight capacity. And, well, we have MVP opening up with the Crystal Maiden. Can get a firm base of which they could build the rest of their team on, since Crystal Maiden really can go either way. She could be super aggressive, she could be super defensive, she could get a couple of points in aura and then just be an aura generating, mana generating hero, and that's not exactly the best way I would play the Crystal Maiden, but you know, it works sometimes if you pick up a very mana heavy lineup. Team Dignitas is going to respond with a Clockwork as well as a Vengeful Spirit. So they will have, at least in the mid game, a ton of initiation. That's pretty much what they will have in spades, especially against a soft hero like Crystal Maiden. She's got to watch out versus the Clockwork, who could annihilate her very easily if the hookshot is successful. But between the two of those, they will have not only the initiation in the mid game, but they will also have just a very strong mid game in general. Having the Clockwork be a very tanky hero at that stage of the game, as well as put out a lot of damage with the Battery Assault, means that Team Dignitas could try to go for a very large timing push where they, group up as 5, try to get a pick off, and then try to take an early set of towers or early Raxes or however far into the MVP base that they could possibly get. Because they'll have the high damage nukes of of Clockwork, of Vengeful Spirit's nuke, as well as all the utility that comes with it. MVP, the response is going to be the Lifestealer. It's a really good pickup versus the two heroes of Vengeful Spirit as well as Clockwork, even though Vengeful Spirit is, she can deal with Lifestealer in a sense. Like, if someone has their wounds opened, then you could swap either the Lifestealer away or the ally, and then, depending on what you actually want to do, try to protect your ally from that. But that's only like a really short-term answer for that, as opposed to someone like the Naga Siren, who unfortunately will not be in the pool for Team Dignitas to pick up, who could just net the Lifestealer or sleep, and then everyone's immune to damage except for that enemy Lifestealer, then you could focus them down. But there'll be like some short-term solutions for a late-game Lifestealer on the Team Dignitas side so far. Clockwork really isn't a great answer for that. So if Team Dignitas let Lifestealer get a little bit too big, given the lineup they have right now, they won't be able to do all that much against them, just because those two heroes aren't that great versus Lifestealer. Bans out, second round, MVP, gonna first ban out that Weaver, following up with the Luna, trying to get rid of some of those carry heroes who could make good use of the Vengeful Spirit, as well as getting that extra space that the Clockwork gives you. Having the cogs in front of a Luna, in front of a Weaver, means that it doesn't matter if their HP pool is like 900, 1000 or whatever, because you won't be able to get to them. They'll have a swap to back them up. They'll be doing a ton of damage thanks to either the Wave of Terror, which the Vengeful Spirit's going to be focusing highly, or the Vengeance Aura, or any combination of both. And then it's just very difficult for MVP to actually do the damage. So very smart bans from MVP, ensuring that Team Dignitas are trying to encourage Team Dignitas to pick up the heroes that won't really care as much that they have a lot of space. There are many carry heroes that will still benefit from that, But Team Dignitas now going to have probably two of the more viable ones for that strategy taken away from them. Conversely, Team Dignitas is going to ban out the Storm Spirit as well as that Puck, so very heavily targeting those mid lane mobility heroes. Most importantly, however, those mid lane mobility heroes that are great hosts to a Lifestealer bomb. Wouldn't be surprised to see MVP pick up a Queen of Pain. It's one of the few other melee heroes, not melee heroes, mid heroes that has what I would call a large amount of mobility, and Lifestealer bombs in the Queen of Pain, that's dangerous. It's not as dangerous as compared to Lifestealer Puck or Lifestealer Storm, who could initiate very well once they do dive in with the Silence, with the Dream Coil, what have you. If Queen of Pain blinks in, she's kind of forced to stick and fight, and if she blinks in, that obviously means she can't blink out, so you could pretty much you could very easily focus down the Queen of Pain if she does do that suicide Lifestealer bomb. So it won't be the best option for MVP, but it is still an option to get the Lifestealer actually into the battle, as opposed to having him rely on walking in, which is of course very slow in comparison, especially when you have cogs, especially when you have swap, and all that stuff in the way between the Lifestealer and the target. Third pick from each team, Lion as well as Windrunner, and Night Stalker is going to be the pickup from Team Dignitas. So yeah, they are going to go super aggressive in the mid game, it looks like. Windrunner is kind of a similar hero to accomplish that. It will probably be a more well, I don't know. Windrunner could be played as a more support-y Windrunner, or she could even go to a lane and solo. The beauty of Team Dignitas' lineup so far is that they have a huge amount of flexibility as to how they want to actually lane their heroes. Night Stalker, Windrunner, and Clockwork, all capable of soloing lanes, but they could also do very, very well if they have a little bit of help. So Team Dignitas is going to go for a very, very mid-game heavy lineup. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me start again. I would be surprised if they pick up a really hard carry as their last pick. Something more middle of the road, I think, would probably be better. Timbersaw would have been a decent pick, although that would have been a little bit greedy in the experience and gold department. But or at least if they do go for a hard carry, it'll be someone who could contribute a lot early, such as the Gyrocopter. And Gyrocopter will also benefit from the added space that he gets from the Vengeful Spirit as well as the Clockwork. You'll have the Call Down, you'll have the Rocket Barrage, which will do well versus MVP's side, who themselves have picked up a Lion as well as a Timbersaw. So they're going to go for some really heavy hitters with the Timbersaw as well as the Lifestealer. They will have a good amount of stun as well, and well, it's just a matter of can they turtle through the aggressive mid-game from Team Dignitas, because once that happens, Lifestealer is going to just wreak havoc amongst the Team Dignitas side, given the lineup that Team Dignitas have picked up thus far. Timbersaw is a great hero in trying to play that defensive role, just because he does so much damage in the early mid-game. If he gets dove by a Clockwork or whatever, he could easily Timber Chain out. He will be able to kind of punish the Team Dignitas team for actually diving, just because of how much damage Timbersaw does before he goes down. It's always very deceptive. And then of course you have the Lion, who, you know, Finger of Death is pretty much a guaranteed kill whenever it's available. That's 160 seconds when it's not available though, so it is a lot of time before that. So if Team Dignitas keep up the pressure between the Fingers of Death, then they could get something going. But I do like MVP's kind of defensive-oriented lineup right now. They're in no rush, really, because at late game, they'll have a Lifestealer, and late game, Team Dignitas, they'll have Cogs as an answer, kind of, and Swap, but that's, I would say, not enough. MVP is still missing a mid-lane hero. Team Dignitas have the luxury of running Clockwork, Night Stalker, or Windrunner, any combination of those guys in the mid lane. Looks like Invoker is going to be the final ban from MVP. Would have been okay, would have been, I think, a little bit greedy, but whatever. We'll see a Viper, actually. One of the terrors in .79. Team Dignitas banning out the Dragon Knight, so yeah, just denying more of that really tanky, heavy hitter kind of heroes from MVP. But the Viper pick from Team Dignitas is pretty perfect as to what they actually want to do. It is another hero that, as I was talking about the Weaver and Luna, does benefit from the added space. You'll be able to just fire off the poison attacks constantly, get the Nether Toxin bonus damage to really stack up. If he gets an Aghanims, you'll be able to throw a couple more Viper Strikes before he goes down, if he does go down at all. And on top of that, he really dominates a lane. And if you want to have a strong mid-game, then it really helps if you just crush through the enemy lanes from the get-go, and it's really, really hard to beat a Viper that does that. OD and Viper are two of the heroes that, in my opinion, are probably the hardest heroes to play against in lane. I think Razor might be up there as well. But you can't really counter the Viper with one hero. You can't really say, oh, there's a Viper, well, I'm going to pick this hero, and it's going to be completely solved, because he will endlessly harass you. So it's going to be difficult for MVP to beat the Viper in lane, and the mid game from Team Dignitas is going to be intense, but MVP picking up a pretty good hero in response, I would say. The Hawk is going to be extremely important for the Beastmaster, spotting out the rotations from the Clockwork, from the Night Stalker, and the sooner you could find the location of those heroes, the sooner you could either teleport people in or teleport people out. And then, of course, you're going to be heavily punishing dives that happen by the hands. That is the word that I want, by the hands of the Night Stalker. If he dives in, roar him, teleportation in, finger of death, all that good jazz. So MVP. They also do have the aura to help with the lifestealer's damage output, I guess is the best way to put it. So the aura is definitely going to help as well. Beastmaster, I predicted was going to be a pretty big hero in 0.79, not because of the changes, but because of the Broodmother changes. But apparently these teams don't really value Broodmother that highly, which I'm completely okay with, since I don't really like watching Broodmother games. Alright, let's get the important stuff out of the way first. There we go. Decked out in gold. And here we go. We are in game number 1 of day number 2 of week number 2 of the Nexon Invitational Super Match. Man, that was a mouthful. Okay, we have on the dire side MVP. Hunji is going to be on the Beastmaster with a nice Mohawk. Heen is going to be on the Lion, heading up towards the top lane. Banhua is on the Lifestealer. Mafia is on the Crystal Maiden. That leaves Forev going to be playing the Timbersaw on the Dignitas side. Bleak is going to be playing the Viper. Demon is on the Night Stalker once again. A little bit over-aggressive in some of the past games, but you know, it worked. Infinity is on the Clockwork. Winter is standing in. Is going to be on the Vengeful Spirit, and that leaves 1437 supporting as the Windrunner following up the rear. It's like all Team Dignitas going to move into the MVP jungle. They have an incredibly powerful level 1. They could get either the Cogs or the Battery Assault. If someone gets caught out, they are going to die. Having the poison attack at level 1 have a 0-second cooldown is devastating, but hell, even if it wasn't, even if this was still a 0.6, even if this wasn't a new Viper with the 0-second cooldown on the poison attack, that still would have been first blood if anyone from MVP got cut out there. They just have so much slow with the Night Stalker, with the Vengeful Spirit stun, with 1437 having all the time in the world to line up a Shackle Shot, or even using the slow from Windrun. It's not the biggest, but hey, it's an option. That would have been doom. But it looks like we're going to just be playing normally with Infinity, soloing, no, not soloing up the top lane. Going to be partnered up with 1437. So it is going to be a 2v3 lane, it looks like, on this top side, and that's a lane that really can't favor Dignitas in this particular circumstance. Infinity is going to try to do some cog shenanigans, but not really sure if that's going to help him out all too much. Mid lane is going to be Hunji's Beastmaster versus Demon. Demon really asserting pressure and really doing it early. He did get the favorable block on his creep wave, and really Hunji a little bit scared. He doesn't know where Winter is just yet, although Winter soon enough will make his appearance known on the bottom lane, where it is going to be Forev versus Winter as well as Bleak. Hard to favor Forev in this at all, but I gotta say, the amount that Timbersaw is going to lose is a lot less than I think the Dignitas top lane is going to lose, just because it's going to be very difficult to kill this Timbersaw. You'll slow him down and everything, but at the end of the day, the reactive armor is going to be huge, just because Viper is pretty much purely a physical hero, at least until he gets to the level 6 mark. So that reactive armor is going to be doing a ton of work for Forev. He hasn't received any poison attack harassment just yet, but it will come through eventually, and that reactive armor will certainly make itself known. Meantime, top lane Infinity actually not doing too bad. Banhua getting zoned out pretty heavily by 1437. The large attack range of the Windrunner really making it difficult for Banhua, or at least punishing him whenever he wants to get a little bit of CS. And then you combine that with the fact that Mafia is simply jungling. CM usually jungles pretty swiftly, with the Frostbite doing so much absurd damage to creeps. So CM is getting her experience independent of the tri-lane up on the top lane, which is going to be another kind of income source of experience for MVP, whereas Dignitas don't really have anything. Winter is going to be doing standard pulling things, but I'm sure Heen is going to be doing a little bit of that as well. Infinity actually going to catch Banhua within the cogs. I don't know if you actually want to do this. There's the open wounds. Infinity slowed down. Where's the stun? Line is really, really far away. The stun is going to come through, however, Infinity might actually go down. There's the Windrun trying to slow down everyone. It's not going to be enough to kill the Clockwork, it looks like. Windrun just barely blocking off the last auto attack from Lion. And 1437 with the heroic plays is going to survive, as well as Infinity. A little bit of aggression misplaced by Team Dignitas. They really can't afford to play that lane so aggressively. 1437 is only level 1, took the defensive, the purely defensive skill, instead of something that could stun or do damage. So Infinity really doesn't have any backup if he wants to pick a fight 1v1 versus the Lifestealer, who currently has a level advantage over him. So not really a great idea from the Clockwork. I'm sure he's learned his lesson by now, and really Lifestealer's got to be feeling pretty good. He knows that he could take on Infinity easily. He could even go 1v2 for a little while before his life-stealing prowess actually teeters off. And of course, if he has Heen in the area as well, then he should have an even easier time in doing so. So Infinity's got to be careful up on this top lane. If he gets opened up with a Hex or a Spike or open wounds or anything like that, then he's in for a lot of trouble. We'll do a little bit of creep jacking, try to get some of the experience from these neutrals. But so far, it's just Team Dignitas just waiting. And you really can't expect anything more from them. I mean, their lanes are decent. Having Viper on this bottom lane makes it very difficult for whoever is up against him. But we can see now the effects of the reactive armor. Took two poison shots, not even scratched. He has the stout shield help in that as well. So Bleak, I mean, he's getting the farms, yes, but Timbersaw, most importantly, is still getting the levels. And really, I don't think there's any way for Bleak to get a kill on this Timbersaw unless he's level 6. Even then, the Timber Chain will be there. Timber Chain is level 2, so Forev, with the reactive armor, with the Timber Chain, is going to be incredibly difficult to kill with that rotation. Speaking of rotation, we have Winter looking towards the middle lane, where the Beastmaster is actually pretty healthy. He does have the bottle and is going to retreat. Demon, the first nighttime phase, almost caught off the Beastmaster, but good play by the Beastmaster, falling back as soon as nighttime hit, knowing that he was going to be in a little trouble. Even if there was no Vengeful Spirit rotating in, still having Demon come in is a threat in itself. But 4 minutes in, no kills just yet, but this is the first nighttime, and Night Stalker is a pretty high level 5 versus the Beastmaster. He can get a kill if Winter manages to get a stun, although it looks like Winter is a little bit preoccupied with the creeps that Demon accidentally pulled into the bottom river. Hunji's got to be careful. I think Forev has really got to be feeling pretty good about it, how he's doing right now. He's only 1 level behind technically, but really that doesn't mean too much since he's still getting the levels. Timbersaw, he would like gold, but hell, if he has a whole bunch of levels, he's going to be just fine. And here we go, Viper Strike onto Forev, instantly the Timber Chain away, and really there's no follow-up to that one. Viper Strike used by Bleak, that's a lot of mana, he's not going to care that much, and if Vengeful Spirit did get a stun, I don't even know if that would have been enough. The 8 stacks of armor from level 2 reactive is going to mean that the follow-up in between the right clicks, in between the magic missile, it's not really going to be doing that much. And now Demon and Hunji going toe-to-toe. Luckily for Demon, there's no level 6 on this Beastmaster. He does have a significant level advantage, this Night Stalker, doing better in the experience as well as the gold department, and is really doing better to control the runes. But now, Hunji is level 6, but he has to worry about a rotation from Winter. Only level 3, but here he comes. The dive is going to commence. The roar is there. I don't think Hunji can get out of there, especially when he's silenced mid-animation. Hunji's going to be the first blood.
That's a first blood.
Demon with the beatdowns, and wow, that was actually a very, very well-timed silence from him. You could see the hands were up in the air. The roar was about to be casted, but as soon as that happened, Demon was there with the silence. The roar, I don't think would have mattered. Would have been a little close. Would have made the Dignitas side, pay a little bit more for that dive. But it doesn't really matter because first blood is there, and Demon getting a huge chunk of experience, huge chunk of gold from that is hopefully for Team Dignitas going to use that to really snowball into going into a different lane. Invisibility rune on the bot lane, and with the silence, they could get a kill onto Forev if there is a Viper Strike and mana on the Viper, which there is. Went for the Hand of Midas, and here we go. Demon coming in invisible. If they could get a silence off on Forev before he Timber Chains away, then that will be the death, although looks like the Timber Chain a little bit too quickly. Demon going balls to the wall in the tier 1 tower. Forev is silenced. Gonna try to salve through it. Gonna try to juke actually. Demon might be confused by this a little bit. No. The nuke is there. Level 4 will annihilate that Timbersaw, but he's going to run straight into Hunji. The roar is there. The axes are there. Demon just going to walk right on by. There's the roar. Axes are there. Demon should be dead right now. One more hit. No! The Majestic Charge is going to let him survive at 5 HP. Demon even buys up the Hand of Midas before he goes down. And he doesn't even go down. He survives at 5 HP. Magic Stick is a great item, guys. You should always pick up a Magic Stick. Or, not always, but, I would heavily recommend this item because it just saved Demon's life. Very well played by him, really cutting it close there, but hey, survival is survival, and He put a little bit of pressure onto this bottom lane, bought a little bit more space for Bleak to farm with that Hand of Midas. So well played by Demon, and this is still the first nighttime for another 40 seconds. I don't know if he's going to get anything else done. He could head up towards the top lane, try to get a kill onto Banhua, which would be ideal for the first nighttime phase. But looks like he's actually going to focus his attention back onto the bottom lane. This is the mid game. This is actually isn't really quite the mid game that I was talking about. It is still, it's ramping up towards it. This is just a little taste for MVP of the mid game that is to come from Team Dignitas, because Nightstalker going to go in. There's another 15 seconds. There's another Viper Strike for Ev. Going to get away yet again. This time, Nightstalker not going to risk it. I don't know if he knows Lion is here. I don't know if Lion showed himself on this bottom lane, but smarter from Demon this time to not dive the tier 1 tower. 4Ev is going to eat that Viper Strike and really shrug it off, not taking much from that. But speaking of taking a lot from that, Infinity can run straight into Hunji. And with the illusions, Hunji actually going to have a significant advantage in fighting this Clockwork. Trying to get the Roar off. He will get it, and the Axes as well will kill off this Clockwork. And no, it won't, because 11 HP right into the Chakram. However, Winter is here for the stun, and here comes Demon as well with the nuke. Hunji going to try to bottle through these attacks. Mafia's here as well for the stun. Hunji blocked by his own illusions, though. Now Demon getting frostbitten up. Keen is here with the Hex. Spike is there as well. Stun to 4Ev, trying to mitigate some of the damage being done by Demon, but the Timber Chain is there. 4Ev gets a double kill. And wow, that was just an unfortunate series of events. First, Dignitas Infinity running into a Beastmaster with Illusion Rune. Probably, well, ordinarily you would say 8 minutes in, Illusion Rune, damn it, I wish it was anything else. But in that particular situation, Battery Assault pretty much did nothing to the Beastmaster. You know, interrupted his Roar a couple of times, but who cares? He got the Roar off, he got the kill on the Clockwork. And then he got blocked by the Illusions himself. So really, Illusions doing a lot of the work in this game. Very, very interesting to see. Haven't seen that done, I don't think, ever. So yeah, that was quite a treat. Winter did get a lot of experience from that. He was participating in that engagement right there. Did get him to that level 6 mark, and he was just level 3 a couple minutes ago. So Winter really is a hero that Vengeful Spirit, he does accelerate very, very well with more experience. It's kind of where support Vengeful Spirit, you know, sucks, because you want Magic Missile, you want Wave of Terror, you want all these levels on this hero, but at the same time, you don't really need him. All you need is a play stun, and then you're good. But now that he does have that swap, whoever gets roared, whoever gets hexed, whoever has their wounds opened up, is going to be saved, at least for a little bit. I mean, Winter is going to sacrifice himself for it, but hell, if that means keeping Bleak alive, if that means keeping Demon alive so that they can bottle up, they can return to the fight a little bit later, that's totally worth it. And, well, next nighttime phase, I think, is when Dignitas are really, really going to strike. The first nighttime phase was pretty damn successful for Demon. He's 3-1. He's pretty happy. The first death was during the daytime. That's when Nightstalker is pretty much just a little kitty cat. But during the second nighttime phase, Nightstalker should have maxed out the Hunter of the Night. Might even have level 11 with the Darkness, and he might even have a favorable rune, seeing as though it'll spawn pretty much as soon as nighttime falls, and he does have coverage up on the top lane, which will be visible. Top lane, Banhua and Mafia shackled up. They're going to try to chase down Infinity. The bottle is there, however, teleportation out. Clockwork is going to get out of there alive, but here comes Demon with the haste rune. This is kind of a pseudo nighttime Nightstalker, and Banhua, he doesn't see a thing coming. There's the Darkness. Banhua going to dodge a shackle shot. Well done, but he gets swapped back. He's probably going to get stunned. Yeah, he will. Try to juke in. Power shot is there. Mafia even putting himself in a significant amount of trouble as well. Beatdown is going to commence. Demon's going to get a double kill. In the meantime, bottom lane Bleak going toe-to-toe with the Timbersaw will kill him off. Was that a 1v1 kill? I believe it was. No rotation on this bottom lane to support. And all of a sudden, nighttime happens, although artificial. And Team Dignitas find 3 easy kills. Bleak might be in a little trouble, however. Here comes Heen. He has a Finger of Death. He has Impale. Pew, pew. Viper sticking around for a little bit too long. Heen getting punished significantly by the tower, but he doesn't really care. He got the kill on possibly the most important hero to get the kill, and he will salve up and be just fine. But Dignitas taking the very, very early lead of 7-3, and they still haven't really grouped up and actually put their mid lane to their mid game to the test. Demon has been doing very well to really just keep pace for Team Dignitas, and now that the nighttime phase is just about 30 seconds to a minute off, I think actually just a minute off on the dot, then he will be able to continue to do exactly what he's been doing, and he won't be doing that alone. He'll have levels now up on the Vengeful Spirit, up on the Windrunner. Most importantly, I think up on Infinity, having that hook shot is going to mean wonders for Demon, making it that much easier to run in and really feel safe about him diving in a tier 1 tower to get that Timbersaw kill. Nighttime is going to happen in just a little bit. Bleak still farming up as well, kind of the contingency plan. Hookshot in. Heen's going to get caught by Infinity. Will drop everything he has, although the Battery Assault has already been activated. Timbersaw going to try to kill off Infinity. There's no rotation coming in from MVP, but it doesn't matter. 4F doing so much damage. Only level 1 Whirling Death. My god. That Timber Chain does some work, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 in the end. MVP lose their support. Dignitas lose their Clockwork. Will favor MVP. This Timbersaw been getting quite a bit. 3-2-1. Not quite as much as Demon, who is still right now in the fountain, is level 11, as I said before. So now he's going to look to pace the game, and looks like the first victim of that pacing is going to be Banhua on the top lane. There is no ward coverage for MVP, so they will not be able to see this coming, and Banhua is going to be in a lot of trouble now. Demon is going to drop everything, and Banhua, does he have enough health to get out of there? He does. 1437, a little bit too far away to throw that shackle. Unfortunately, Demon using the Void first, not anticipating the TP, so he doesn't get the kill, although he does force a TP back out of the life. So that's 135 gold. Pretty much wasted. Now he's going to be forced to walk back into the lane. And here we go. MVP using the Hawk to their advantage. Mafia as well as Heen going to find Demon, who's diving super aggressively. What is this aggression from Demon? He's strong, but he's not going to escape this. He might escape this. No, there's the roar. And Hunji's there with the axes. Banhua's even going to get into the fight as well. Demon going to get reverse ganked by the entirety of the MVP side. We saw this in the Dignitas versus Speed Gaming game, I think, is where Team Dignitas picked up the Night Stalker. Demon just gets a little bit overconfident with the amount of health he has, the damage output he has, and ends up doing things that are, quite frankly, a little bit silly. I mean, why would you be over here at all, first of all, and then with no support? It's nighttime, yeah, but it's unnecessary risks, really. He could have easily just done anything else and not taken that risk. You're risking a lot to get that one kill, because I mean, you're a high level hero. You're worth a lot to the enemy team, and most importantly, I think, it's the fact that Night Stalker is dead for all this time, so MVP don't have to worry about the additional threat of having Night Stalker. He's going to go in again, but this time he does have teammates to support. Let's see if Infinity can open up a good fight with a hookshot. Banhua is going to get hookshot straight in the face, it looks like. No, Infinity thinking better of it. They're instead going to change mind, go for Mafia. Heen is here as well, however. Power shot unfortunately missing. Mafia going to slip away. Demon is going to do exactly the same, forcing more teleportation support in the form of Hunji with an invisibility rune. Will not find anyone, however. So Team Dignitas not really getting the kills. They are forcing a lot of gold to be spent on the teleportation scrolls. And wow, Demon, look at this aggression from this guy. Sometimes you just gotta walk right between the tier 2 and tier 3 towers, because your prey is on the bottom lane. Forev does have Timber Chain level 4, 2 points in the reactive armor. Dignitas' Bleak and open up with the Viper Strike. Silence is on Forev as well. I don't know if Timbersaw can get away from this. Doesn't look like he can. In the meantime, top lane looks like 1437 got ganked by a whole slew of MVP heroes, but it is a 1-for-1 trade. The Windrunner not as valuable to Team Dignitas as the Timbersaw is for MVP, especially when that means a tier 2 for a tier 1 trade, even maybe 2 trades. Yeah, tier 1 in the mid lane, a little bit of trouble. Tier 2 on the bottom lane will get pressured a little bit. I actually don't know if Team Dignitas could take a single one of these towers. They might be able to take this. Oh no, they're going to go right up to the top lane. Banhua going to get tagged by the poison, though. The Boar from Night Stalker doing so much to slow down Bleak. Level 3 on the Viper Strike, on the poison attack rather, means that he doesn't have as much slow as he possibly can. However, in the end, Team Dignitas do defend their tier 1 top lane, and they do take the tier 1 in the mid lane. So no matter how you slice it, it is favorable for Team Dignitas to have made that trade. And now Demon, he's still on the hunt. Nighttime's going to last for quite a while longer. It looks like 2 minutes-ish, I think. And he's healthy. He's level 11. He's ready to fight things. And looks like the thing that he's choosing to fight first of all is this tier 1 top tower, which is going to go down without a hitch. Viper, well on his way to his Aghanim Scepter, actually rushing that item. Kind of weird. Usually you see a little bit more of an intermediary step with the Viper, but I guess someone else is getting the mech. Looks like Windrunner, yeah, is going to be doing that. So Viper not really going to need to tank up as much through that means. We'll just go straight for the aggressive and tanky item at the same time. And it's a pretty good idea, I think. It will allow him to spam out that Viper Strike, which of course means... Really? Really? You're going to... Okay, well, sometimes you just need some gold, man. But the Viper Strike will add to this powerful mid game that we're seeing here from Dignitas, and looks like it's already up. Viper Strike now is on a cooldown of 12 seconds, and he has a sizable mana pool to boot. So, yeah, Team Dignitas looking pretty good, although MVP, they're getting their items up as well. CM has a friggin' Hand of Midas. Really? I don't know. Lifestealer has drums and phase boots, not the most, but it does have some good vehicles to do some damage in the form of the Roar from the Beastmaster locking someone down. Necro Book is also up on the Beastmaster. And then, of course, the initiation from Forev. Looks like Bleak going to be laid out as bait, and Darkness is still up. So Demon is still going to be incredibly potent. Infinity just looking for a target to hook shot into. Go in, pop the Roar, and try to draw as much fire as you can from the MVP side. Looks like MVP, they're still smoked up. Haven't been revealed just yet. They're going to get revealed on Demon, though. Or there's one reveal on Mafia. Yeah, Demon should have seen that. I think he should have seen the smoke dispel, although he might have just spotted the CM. Either way, he's going to get ganked as he moves up to the high ground. Demon getting bursted down so easily. No chance for Dignitas to react, although there is the counter initiation. Keen is going to drop everything he has before he does go down. Forev is going to try to Timber Chain out, although it looks like it didn't work. Mafia going to drop a huge freezing field. Instantly stunned, though, by Winter. In the end, it's a 3-for-1 trade. Demon actually buying back, trying to get back into this fight, although it looks like everyone from MVP has fled successfully. Dignitas with the follow-up and really with this soft status of this Crystal Maiden and Lion, who haven't gone for any sort of tanky items, however, instead going for, ramping items, I guess you could say. Really just crumbling under that pressure. Timbersaw didn't last long at all, especially when his Timber Chain got, I believe, interrupted by the cogs. Is the only way you could interrupt that? I don't know. He definitely Timber Chained out. Either he missed or it just didn't work for whatever reason. Either way, it failed. And now Hunji in a little bit of trouble. He does have teleportation support. Crystal Maiden is coming, although they can just turn around for Mafia. There's the Viper Strike, and Bleak should be able to just walk Mafia down, especially with the clockwork here. The CM's going to die. Bleak might be in a little trouble, however. Long teleportation time's going to come in, though, so the Timbersaw can't really get in as fast as he would really want to. And in the end, Vengeful Spirit? Really? Vengeful Spirit? Okay, picking up the Crystal Maiden kill. Good work, Winter. I remember from last time, you're pretty good at securing those kills, so yeah. Bleak doesn't need kills anyway. He's Viper. He has 2,000 gold. He has a hand of Midas. He has kills every time Midas is up. So that is definitely how that works, guys. That definitely makes sense. But Team Dignitas, even though it's daytime, and this is pretty gutsy from them. CM is down, so they don't have to worry about that Nova. But still, pushing this aggressively when it's not nighttime, although I guess they do have darkness. Yeah, this kind of makes sense. Okay, they have the Aghanim Scepter. Viper is pretty much as strong as he's going to be. At least he's overpowering in comparison to the MVP heroes. Might as well flex their muscles right now. Hookshot is up. Infinity is looking for a target in this tower. Is just boldly being tanked by Bleak. There's the hookshot in. Going to be initiate onto Forev. Cogs there as well. Forev going to get himself out of there. Looks like the Cogs don't interrupt it, so I guess he missed last time. Hookshot being used, but that's only on a minute cooldown. Dignitas aren't really going to worry about that much because they took the tower, and now top lane, Bonhua as well as Heen trying to take down a tier 1 tower of their own. So far, all the tier 1 towers from Dignitas are still up. Night Stalker going to come in first, and he's going to try to go for Bonhua. There's the nighttime, and Rocket Flare going to spot everyone out. Who does Demon want? He wants to go for Bonhua, spotted out by the Vengeful Spirit Howl, and the silence as well as the nuke is there. Bonhua will try to TP out. Infinity is going to cog him as well as the swap. Bonhua going to run the other way, but he's going to run straight into a Poison Dragon. That's not something you want to see when you're a Lifestealer, or especially when you're on the run for 4 heroes. That's going to be a free kill on the Lifestealer, who it's a good idea to try to teleport after the Void is being used, but ultimately the interrupts were there this time, so Darkness being used for another kill. Team Dignitas really holding strong onto this mid game. And MVP, if they can just turtle out for a couple more nighttime cycles, they should be fine, I think. It's just a pretty big if, though, because you can see how much confidence Team Dignitas has. There's the hookshot in. They're going to catch Heen. Drop his Finger of Death. No, he's going to pop very, very easily. I mean, do you really want a Finger of Death to Clockwork? Clockwork would love to see you try, especially with that Blade Mail up. But 15-7, Team Dignitas looking very good this game, asserting a huge amount of map control with wards very, very deep into the enemy territory. And hell, it's daytime. They don't have darkness for another minute. Screw it. YOLO push into the tier 2 top lane. And MVP without their Lion. I mean, Lion's going to be up by the time they actually want to defend this. The question is, do they want to defend this? Bonhua is going to try to get an Infest Bomb going with the Timbersaw again, I think, but yeah, it's way too late. They could try. It's not going to end well for them. Night Stalker going to get enough gold to finish up his Aghanim Scepter. Bleak picking up a huge tanking item in the Helven's Halberd. So yeah, poor Lifestealer. The Rage will only last so long, and once that happens, you're going to have all your effective HP denied from you. No more lifesteal from you, no more open wounds, no more feast. You're just going to be really sad because you can't attack. So big items coming up from Team Dignitas. MVP, they're still kind of building their way up. but Lifestealer hasn't had any item progression at all, having 2 deaths and having so much pressure just applied to him in all sorts of ways. The darkness itself, just the ultimate of the Night Stalker is a threat. Beastmaster's getting the most, definitely, from the Necro book, but really you could see it all in the charts. It's hugely in favor of Dignitas and MVP. I mean, they're not out of it just yet, they just have to endure, but they're not doing a fantastic job of enduring so far. Because Dignitas, they're getting really, really tanky. They're still relying on their flat values of the Voids, of the Viper Strikes, but really, that's not really a bad thing. It's still working out. They're going to try to go for a Roshan, and hell, Viper, having such an easy time doing this, just all by himself. Does have that Viper Strike as well as the Maim. Didn't know you can Maim Roshan, although I don't really see why you shouldn't be. It just never occurred to me. Roshan's going to drop very, very quickly. MVP have no answer for this. Viper is going to pick up the Aegis, and, well, Dignitas are going to keep this gravy train rolling. Armlet is up on the Lifestealer, so that could be something that could help them a little bit. Having the extra damage is definitely going to help, as well as the ability to surf through that the damage with that toggle, but you gotta be careful. Poison damage on Viper is not too friendly to Armlet toggling. And Demon's gonna just breach the high ground. Just go for it. Silence. Spells being spammed out. 4F getting chipped down. Team Dignitas, they are completely fearless. Sitting up on the high ground. Hell, he has the Heaven's Halberd. He has an Aghanim Scepter. Power Treads. 2,000 HP on the Viper with Corrosive Skin, with an Aegis. It's hard to kill this guy, especially when he's spamming out his ultimates every 12 seconds. So Bleak is just an ultimate cannon right now. The progress is slow on this top lane, however, it is still substantial. It will eventually take this tower out, and really, their other tower is not being pressured, although top looks like it will be pressured soon enough. So Team Dignitas really not spending much to do this. Even if it does come down to a fight, then organic nighttime, I guess you could say, is here. So if a fight happens, Dignitas are more than happy to take it, because they will probably win. Unless they clump up too much and get annihilated by a freezing field, but that is unlikely. So the chip damage on the tower is going to continue. Bleak eating all the tower shots in the world. I think they're running out of urn charges, but yeah, they're out of urn charges, but do they really care? They have the Aegis, and hell, it's better to use the Aegis than let it time out. Shackle shot is gonna hit the boar, not too big of a deal. Wow, Winter. Oh, gonna get a swap onto Hunji. The roar is gonna get canceled by the silence, and now Hunji's gonna get blown up. Winter taking a lot of damage, although 4F slowed down by the Viper, who's gonna now change his focus to the Lion as well as the CM, both trapped by Infinity. Demon's gonna go to town on to 4F, who, however, he will get his way out of there. Bonhua now in a large amount of trouble. Viper Strike onto him as well. Demon 1437 and Bleak all on the Lifestealer's ass, and that's going to be a whole bunch of kills for Team Dignitas. Winter, the only death in that entire engagement. Tower is going to go down. Raxes are going to go down. MVP really don't have any answer to this. And yeah, the powerful, powerful mid-game of Team Dignitas. I keep on harping on it. I said it many times in the draft. I said it many times in game. But I guess this is it. I mean, this is the power of the mid-game lineup, all in one picture. Raxes are down 25 minutes in. A nigh unkillable Night Stalker, a nigh unkillable Viper. An MVP with not nearly enough farm to try to mitigate this. So they're going to lose mid-Rax, which is going to put them even more behind, like staggeringly so. It could be worse, I guess. They took down their tower. No, they didn't. Infinity got to the top lane to deny the only tower that MVP have to their name, and it's kind of just a footnote. The mid-Raxes are down. Dignitas with all the momentum in the world. Night Stalker almost at that level 16 mark, so 80 extra seconds of nighttime per nighttime cycle. Not bad, not bad. Aegis is still up and available too. Bleak could just suicide dive, and hell, even if he does die, does he really care? He has so much gold. It will be a lot of value to MVP, but they had to get through him twice, and it's unlikely as to whether or not they could get through him once, so yeah, they're not going to be caught off guard either, especially with Demon holding that Aghanim, so he has unobstructed vision. He has complete vision of what Bonhua is doing right now. And if Demon gets initiated upon right now, that's completely just his fault for staying. Look, he knows that they're there. He sees everyone on the MVP side. But he doesn't care. He absolutely does not care. Bottom lane is going to be the next target. Aegis still up on that Viper for... I wish I could just, like... I wish we could just see when it would time out, although I guess it's just 1 minute, right? So I guess that's the only way to do it. But however, we're still going. We're still going with that Aegis. I'm sure the game will tell me as well. Clockwork finding a solo kill. I did not expect that to happen in the least. But looks like everyone from Dignitas, with the exception of Bleak, who still going to remain business. Oh, there we go. Swap on the 4F. Instant silence. And the Desolator up on the Windrunner. 4F is going to melt. Winter gets done. Actually, a beautiful 3-man impale. Infinity can take a beating as well. Viper, though, coming from the side. Going to catch Hunji with the slow. You cannot escape this damage. Windrunner will secure the kill. 3 down for MVP. Dignitas looking to take the bottom set of Raxes. The Aegis is still up on Viper. He could tank the tower if he so chooses. He almost has a Heart of Tarask done. Yeah, it's not looking good. Even extra damage coming out from 147. They don't need the damage. They don't really need it. Although having a source of right click damage is always nice. It's unnecessary at this point. Mech just now being finished up for MVP. They're gonna lose their bottom lane Raxes, and there's nothing they can do. There's the GG call. Bonhua has had enough. That's gonna be it. Team Dignitas with the mid game gonna crush through Dignitas, easy peasy. Demon might be the last casualty. Run, Demon! No! Oh, Night Stalker gonna die. That's gonna be it, guys. MVP win! They win, guys! No, I don't know what happened. I guess they called the GG. Yeah, there we go. Dire victory. So Dignitas actually won this game, despite what the screen might say. And looks like we're going to be... Oh, there we go. 30 seconds until Aegis. We're going to be moving on to game number 2, where I believe MVP are going to be going up against Speed Gaming, and then it's Dignitas versus Speed. So it should be the same 3 games as last week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure that if anyone's looking for these VODs, then direct them here, because paywalls are a bitch, and people don't like dealing with paywalls. So why do that when you could get it all for free and you could listen to my marvelous casting? At least I didn't miss First Blood, right? At least I didn't do that. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. GG.